The biggest pop stars have some 10 out of 10 songs, and some songs you can't believe they made. In this video, we look at the best and worst song by 10 of the biggest pop stars. The Weeknd. Blinding Lights. The Weeknd's Blinding Lights is an adrenaline rush of retro synths and shimmering production that blends nostalgia with modern sounds. I mean, it's the basic pick for his best song, as it became a global phenomenon, spending a record-breaking number of weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 and becoming the most streamed song of all time. The 80s inspired production and unforgettable chorus made it one of the biggest songs ever. Popularity doesn't always mean quality, but in this case, The Weeknd's most popular song is his best. It's everything you want in a pop hit, infectious and timeless. Live For featuring Drake. For The Weeknd's worst song, I went for Live For, his uninspired collaboration off Kissland. On paper, a song featuring Drake at the time should have been a slam dunk, but instead it was a forgettable blip. The production is flat, and the hook is repetitive and underwhelming. Doesn't help that both The Weeknd and Drake sound oddly detached. While it wasn't the absolute worst thing ever recorded, it pales in comparison to the towering heights The Weeknd will reach later in his career. It's a filler track on an album that struggled with consistency. Ariana Grande. Into You. Into You is peak Ariana. It's a song you blast in your car, scream in the shower, and dance without a care. It has great production and a vocal delivery that balances power with precision. It is everything you want in a pop banger. Ari's voice glides over the production, delivering one of the most infectious choruses of her career. The song showcases her ability to masterfully balance pop hooks with mature themes, solidifying her as one of pop's brightest stars. Hands on Me featuring A$AP Ferg. For Ariana's worst song, I have to go with Hands on Me from My Everything. It is a chaotic mismatch of sounds that does not work well together. While Ariana is known for her versatility, this attempt at blending pop and hip-hop felt forced and awkward. A$AP Ferg's feature was disjointed, and the production is noisy and annoying rather than catchy. It's like the song tried too hard to be edgy and fell flat, lacking the polish of Ariana's later work. Rihanna. Love on the Brain. Love on the Brain is Rihanna at her rawest and most soulful, drawing on classic R&B influences. The song showcases her vocals in a way that is both vulnerable and powerful. The live performance of the song at the BBMAs is one of Rihanna's best. It is one of those songs that stays with you for a long time after you hear it, as Rihanna put every ounce of heartbreak and passion into her performance. Photographs featuring will.i.am. I think the worst song of Rihanna's career is Photographs. It's a misstep in her discography. From Rated R, it's a collaboration with will.i.am, which feels like a failed attempt to blend electropop and emotional storytelling. The production sounds dated, and will.i.am's feature feels shoehorned in. It is a far cry from the cutting-edge sound and fearless experimentation that usually define Rihanna's best work. It just doesn't sound good. Billie Eilish. When the Party's Over. Billie Eilish's When the Party's Over is hauntingly beautiful, a masterclass in minimalism and emotion. It is one of the first songs I heard from her, and it got me hooked. With just her delicate voice and sparse instrumentation, Billie creates an atmosphere of loneliness and sadness. The song feels intimate, almost like you're peeking into a private moment, and combined with that striking music video, the song stays with you long after it ends, and I'm sure it will be regarded as a classic in a couple of years. 8. On the flip side, 8 from When We All Fall Asleep Where Do We Go is an experiment that didn't quite work. The ukulele-driven production, a sound she used on Party Favors from her previous album, was the bedrock of the song, and the pitch-shifted vocals gave it a childlike quality, which didn't really connect with me. It lacks the depth and impact of her other work, feeling more like an experiment gone wrong. It doesn't hold up next to most of her discography. Dua Lipa. Don't Start Now. Dua Lipa's Don't Start Now is a disco-infused masterpiece that marked her as a pop powerhouse. The bass line is instantly recognizable, and the production is crisp and irresistible. It became a huge hit, becoming one of the most streamed songs ever. Dua Lipa's confident, no-nonsense delivery gives the song an empowering edge, making it the perfect dance floor anthem. It is the kind of song you can't help but move to, and it solidified her status as a leader in the new wave of pop. Boys Will Be Boys. While Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia was critically acclaimed, Boys Will Be Boys stands out as a weak point. The song's message about sexism is well-intentioned, but the execution is heavy-handed and lacks the nuance of her better work. The orchestral production feels out of place on the album, and the song comes across as preachy rather than powerful. In an album full of bangers, this one falls flat. Beyoncé. Halo. When Beyoncé released I Am Sasha Fierce, she gifted the world Hello, a song that is undoubtedly one of her best. With its heavenly piano melody, soaring vocals, and deeply emotional lyrics, Halo is pop ballad perfection. The song captures her vocal range and emotional depth, becoming an instant classic when it was released. It was hard to pick between Halo and Love on Top, but I found Halo more iconic. Radio. Beyoncé has some not-so-great songs in her discography, but her worst, in my opinion, is Radio. Released as part of her I Am Sasha Fierce album, it tried to fit the electropop sound that was popping at the time, but its forced energy makes it stick out. In an album full of bangers, it is the weak point. When you listen to it now, it is clear that the production hasn't aged well, as most of the throwaway hits from that era. Lady Gaga. Paparazzi. The Fame is really a legendary album, and I think the best song of Lady Gaga's career is Paparazzi. It is still her magnum opus. It is a theatrical, synth-heavy masterpiece that perfectly blends Gaga's commentary on fame and love. The visuals accompanying it only amplified its impact. Remember the MTV VMAs performance with Fake Blood? Iconic. Paparazzi is a shining moment in Gaga's discography, and I think she is still yet to top it. Starstruck. On the flip side, Starstruck is the worst song in her discography. It sounds like a relic from the late 2000s obsession with autotune and EDM overload, featuring Space Cowboy and Florida. It's a chaotic mishmash that never finds its footing. The robotic vocals and dated production scream gimmick more than artistry, and it is one of the only songs that managed to age poorly from that era of Gaga. Adele. Someone Like You. Adele knows how to make an emotional ballad, and I think Someone Like You is still her best. It is a hauntingly bare piano ballad, showcasing raw emotion and Adele's expert vocals. Heartbreak has never sounded so real, and for many listeners, it remains a tear-jerking masterpiece that solidifies Adele as one of pop's greatest balladeers. Her voice shines on the song, and its simplicity at its best.
Can I get it right now?
Can I Get It? Unfortunately, Adele's foray into pop experimentation doesn't always hit the same emotional resonance as her ballads. Can I Get It of her latest album 30 is a confusing mix of acoustic guitars and pop hooks that feels jarring in contrast to her usual sound. It is not a horrible song, it's Adele after all, but it's forgettable compared to her breathtaking ballads. I just hate how the chorus sounds. Justin Bieber. Confident. Bieber has had an incredible career, but I think his best song is Confident from Journals. He released the song at a time when he was trying to break free from his teen pop image. Featuring Chance the Rapper, the song blends R&B groups and JB's undeniable swagger, and I think it has aged very well. It's catchy without being annoying, showcasing Bieber's mature sound and ability to adapt. Running Over featuring Lil Dicky. The worst track on his albums is MLK Interlude that uses a powerful Martin Luther King speech for an interlude for his album, which was horrible. But his actual worst song is Running Over featuring Lil Dicky from his 2020 album Changes. The song lacks creativity feeling more like a lazy attempt to ride the trap wave. Forgettable bars, weak production, it's a skip. Taylor Swift. Cruel Summer. Taylor Swift's fanbase has long praised Cruel Summer as a standout in her career, and they're absolutely right. It's a pop masterpiece that has become her biggest song. The song captures Taylor's knack for blending irresistible melodies with raw emotion. It is one of her catchiest songs, proving why she is one of the biggest artists ever, that an album track can become one of the biggest hits of this decade. My honorable mentions are Enchanted and All Too Well, both amazing songs in their own right. Me featuring Brendan Urie. This might be controversial, but I might have mentioned from time to time that Me is my least favorite Taylor Swift song. The song takes cheesy to a whole new level, and not in a good way, with a sugary sweet melody. The song feels like it's trying too hard to be bubbly, but it ends up annoying. It just doesn't sound good to my ears. Maybe you feel different. What do you think of my picks? Tell me yours in the comments below.